Okay, I'll make sure I got some sound there, and I do. I am about 11 minutes early from where I would be, and I'm going to go ahead and cover a few things. I'm about 10 minutes early from 2 o'clock, and I'll have folks joining me as we move along. This is the virtual screencast of this course, and so I'm on here and I've got it ready to go for everybody. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look again, just briefly go over navigating through Canvas. All right. Then we're going to look at the assignments that we have coming up that we'll be doing, and things are due. And then we'll take a look today. We looked at the case number 3, Guardian Roofing, very briefly, and we're going to go over case Excel cases 1 and 2 and talk about how we'll do those. So I'm sure as the time goes here, I'm going to have some of you join. That's okay. You can always scroll it back and go ahead and take a look at what's there. And this is also always, you usually have a few people early, so don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Again, I want to encourage all of you who come in, and most of you will come in late. We're going to be ready to go here. And in fact, I think what I'll do, go ahead, is just have this ready and to go. So we've got about 9 minutes. And let's talk some about the different sections of Canvas, and we'll go over that again, just navigating through Canvas. Yeah, obviously I'm over here in the announcements, and I had the invitation for everybody to come over here today and in this for the meeting, and so you should have been able to you should have that invitation for 11:23 section B, and here it is, and to join the meeting. So I'm sure I'll have some of you join. Hi there, and let's see who we got here. Okay, Kyler and Anthony, glad to see you here. If you would, please go ahead and mute your devices, the sound and the video, and pardon me, the microphone and the video. And I started a little bit early, but it's not that big of a deal, because as we go forward, you'll be able to scroll back through and see what I've done with just a few, just kind of getting us acclimated and kind of a quick overview again of what we're going to do. We're going to look at Canvas, navigating through it using some of the features. Then we're going to talk about XLS cases 1 and 2, because we've already done case number 3, and I'll review where that is and where you're wanting to be working with it. So again, I see we have, and again we're early. And for those who come in a little bit late, they can always scroll back to the start and see. So for some of you who are here, it may be a good opportunity for you to go ahead and get out. Let me encourage you again, if you haven't done it, please mute your microphone and mute your video, so we don't end up listening to your dogs or cats or whatever music you're playing while you're attending class or whatever, that stuff. So again, just to go through this, I'm over here in the announcements section, and usually you're going to see, you will see the invitation to some virtual office hours like I have today from 4 till 5:30, or you'll see the invitation to a class session, and so I want everybody to make certain that you know that I am keeping virtual office hours, and it's just simply like you come into this classroom, and if you have a question or a problem, I can try to help you out. So that tool is there for you to help out. Now we've looked at the announcements section, and let's go down over to the syllabus. And it's a little bit of a misnomer. As I said the other day, it can kind of surprise you, okay? But here's everything that's due Thursday, February 8th, okay? And that would be a week from tomorrow. You have the financial ratios quiz, and we talked about that. It's over case number 4. And remember, the main textbook, there are 2 textbooks for this course. One is Solve It 6.0, and the other is the Stephen Few text. And that's the one on Show Me the Numbers. Case number 4 is Dabney Financial Services, and case number 4 covers financial ratios and how they're computed, and as I showed everybody in a quick preview of that quiz, you'll be doing some work on that. And let's pop on for just a second. Again, it's due by 5 o'clock on the 8th, and we'll just do a quick preview of it. Well, it's 50 points, and you get 2 attempts within 20 minutes. Okay, it's not that hard. It's not that hard of an exam, and we'll preview it real quickly. Let you see. Okay, so you can see you'll want to be on top in terms of knowing the firm's debt ratio and how to compute that. That's why the Dabney Financial is such an important thing, because it has those formulas on how to compute those financial ratios. Now, I have some other resources here for everybody, and we've had a few more join. Those of you who joined, I started early. Don't worry about it. You can always scroll back to the recording to see what you might have missed. So I'm glad to have you here. Please make sure that when you come in that you mute your camera and you mute your microphone. So we'll go back over here for just a second, okay? And we'll pop back over here. We saw the syllabus, and of course the syllabus always shows us. I'll go back here for a minute. And we have XLS 1 and 2. Now, we did 3 the other day, and so you should have uploaded it, okay? So let me stop right now. If you haven't uploaded the Guardian Roofing case, you ought to do so. And we're going to go into the files, okay? And we'll scroll down here, okay? And you're going to find the key, i.e. the folder for that. Okay, and here it is, XLS3 Guardian, and that's the file you want to upload. It's called XLS3 Guardian, and that's the file that you will upload over there for case number 3. We took a look at it, and what I did is I took the Guardian payroll case and I took that and built some more things into it and really showed you what a fully fledged worksheet ought to look like. And I wouldn't expect you, even at the end of the course, to construct something like that, but I wanted you to see it and also provide some explanation in terms of how the formulas are developed, the different functions of Excel that were used, etc., to produce that rolling key. Okay, so that you would upload. Now, also we have XLS1 and XLS2, and we're going to talk about them here after we kind of get finished looking at some of the features, or pardon me, navigating a little bit around Canvas. There's a section called the modules. And what that does is divide the course up according to some set of topics, okay, or on a chronological basis, okay? And you can see what what's due, etc. You can see I've got it in all these modules down to the finals week. Now, let me make, again, you're often going to see things in here that you won't see on your screen in your computer with a student view. You may see these, I would think, but when you go back in, you won't see them because they simply will not, they just won't be there for you to see. They're there, but they're hidden from you because I've got them. Now, I had said over here, I think it's at the bottom of this, that there is a document, okay, that we want to go to get here it is. The document named Tyler shows where to find XLS1 and XLS2. So let's go over into the files, okay, and we would go back in and look for Tyler. It's called Tyler. Now, let me talk for a moment about grades and the grades section. I post grades in Canvas, but the official grade book for the course is over at Jupiter Grades, okay? So you'll see that, and that Jupiter is the official place where I post your grades. All right, let's go over into the files, okay? And let's look for the Tyler file. It will tell us where to find these two files that we're going to use for XLS Case 1 and XLS Case 2. And so we'll do a search here for Tyler. And here's the Tyler document. And let's upload it. Okay. And again, as you join, those of you who've joined, don't worry about it. We started early. I started early, and you can always scroll back to where we started. Okay. Now the zip file called solves is shown. It's in the welcome module, and it contains unworked stuff. And if you go to the you'll find the files section. You're going to find Athena Beauty A and Whistle Cleaners A. Those are the two files that we're going to be working with. So we'll go over and we'll close this off. All right. So we're going to go find Athena Beauty, and then we'll go find so let's just let's start with the Athena. And that's the very first case. And that's, pardon me, Whistle Cleaners is the one I want, not Athena. I apologize. Whistle Cleaners. And it basically, these first two cases, I walk you through them because they cover some things like navigating through, they cover a lot of stuff that you should have covered that should have been covered in BISS 1103. Okay, so Whistle Cleaners is the first one, and we're going to download this. Okay, and this has the file. Now, in the textbook, I want to note that I think it's important. This is in the Solve It 6.0 textbook. Okay, they talk about over in Chapter 2, an introduction to spreadsheet software, and they talk about moving around. They give you navigating. This is stuff, like I said again, that you're going to get in BISS 1103. Okay, but the key part it starts at page 21 with spreadsheet design principles, and over on page 22. Okay, this is figure 2.3 in that textbook. You're going to see the parts of a spreadsheet. So when a spreadsheet is put together, okay, it should tell a story. It should communicate something. All right, and you'll want it. Now look, you'll want to download this because you're going to upload it back. Download it to your desktop. Okay, and save it, and then you'll want to reload it back up. For the place where I had for you to upload XLS1. Now we've got we see those there are 5 different sections, if you will, or parts of a spreadsheet. There's the title, okay, and then the documentation area. There's the title. Here's the documentation area, all in here. We want to know the date it was made. Who is the author? Does it contain any macros? Something like that. That's the second piece. Okay, and then that's the documentation. And then if we have any assumptions, okay, we include those. Those are things like if you could see, the assumptions part are going to be some things like, say, maybe the growth rate or tax rate or something like that. They're not included here because they're not really relevant, okay? Now, I'm going to switch this out a bit so you can see the full telephone number. And then the fourth section is going to be the input and the calculations. Now, in this case, what we're doing is we're kind of treating this like a database file instead of a spreadsheet file. Excel has some database it has some database features that you can use, and in the same way that with Access you can do some computation, and as I've said, you want to use the right tool for the right job. And although Excel does a fairly decent job with some database functions, if you're going to have large collections of information that you need to categorize, etc., you need a database. If you need to do number crunching, you really need Excel. Although this is okay, this is not really the best way to use it. So we've got this done here, and this is Whistle Cleaners. They're tracking their prospects. Okay, now when you go over into the student files, all right, for Solvent, you'll find skeleton files. By skeleton, what I mean is a bunch of the information hasn't been typed in, and the authors are expecting you to type in some information. So I'm saving you from doing that because I think it's a waste of your time. It's busy work, and instead, I'd rather show you, a filled out and completed spreadsheet that we can start to talk about how we designed it. Now, as I said before, over on page 22, there's information on how to design a spreadsheet. And a spreadsheet ought to tell a story. It should convey some information. All of this information technology is designed to it's designed to be decision-centric, okay? So that we understand and we can make a decision based on this information. And in this case, what we're trying to do is find out, do we need to follow up our cleaners, okay? Some prospects for our cleaners, and should we try to follow up these people? Should we get a hold of them? How long has it been since we've talked to them, etc.? And so let's talk about this. And now we're down here in the input and calculations area. And I'm going to highlight all these cells, okay? Now, this area right here is fine, all right? It could use a little bit of work because we always want to direct an end user's eye down to the data. So the first thing I'm going to do right here, okay, is I'm going to take Whistle Cleaners, and I'm going to go ahead and put some fill in this. All right, I'm going to use a nice light blue fill, okay? And then I'm going to come right here at row 20, right below, and I'm going to create a table effect with these, just doing this. Now, what this does is it takes the reader and makes the end user and their eye falls and come to here, okay? Then you can see now we have these columns or variables or attributes, okay, or dimensions, whatever term you would call, the company name, the first, the last, the telephone number, the email address, the date called, and then any follow-up if it's necessary to follow them up, okay? And we have them in alphabetical order, okay? We have the company name in alphabetical order, and then we have the first and last name of the person, their telephone. We have an email for them. We have the date called, and then we have a decision on whether we should or should not follow up on them. Okay. Now there has to be some kind of decision rule. Okay, and we're going to go over that. And if you look in and you always ought to have your textbook with you. We're going to go through this, and here they want to make sure that we're staying in contact with people, okay? And we want to see whether or not they need to be visited. Well, there's not a real decision. We don't have a decision rule that we've built here, okay? But you can see that anybody who was called in July of '09, we don't need to call them to follow up, okay, up to the 26th. But here on the 29th, okay, they say yes, yes, yes. So it's kind of hard to figure out how we've made that decision. So we would need to put a decision variable in there, okay? And that's one of the things that's a problem here. Now, on page 26 and 27, they walk you through all of this information, okay? These tasks, there are tasks 1 through 5, and we've done basically all of them in this finished product, okay? We created columns for each of those, for a company, last name, this is the bottom of page 26. We created appropriate widths for each column, okay? And then we have to decide, are we going to write justify, center justify, or what? Okay, in this case, we left justified. This is just how am I going to align the data in here so that it looks uniform and it makes sense. Now, what I would do here in the follow-up area is this. I would go ahead and I would put that to the right, or probably to the middle. And I think probably the middle is where I would put it. Why? Because this is the key part, okay? Now, this is a very, I know, simplistic kind of thing. I understand that. But what if we had 1,000 of these, okay? So we're going to do something here. We're going to use some conditional formatting to make sure that our eye gets caught, the data catches our eye. Imagine if I had 1,000 of these or 500 of them, okay, and it wasn't as clear as who's been contacted and who hasn't been contacted, okay? And so I'd be concerned about that. Now, I could do this with a conditional formatting, okay? And let's see, I'm going to put, we got the date they were called, okay, and a follow-up. So we've got these here. So I'm going to put my cursor on F11, and I'm going to come all the way from F11 down to F19. Okay, I'm highlighting those. I'm going to click on conditional formatting, and I'm going to select highlight cell rules. And if it's a text that contains no, I'm going to make it, yes. Let's see, I'm going to put yes. They called it, we need follow-up. I'm going to have light red fill with a dark red text. So that immediately says to me, I need to contact these people. Okay? So now I can make a decision. I don't need to follow up these other people, but these people need follow-up. Now, how the authors came up with their decision on that is probably discussed here in the case, and I think it's okay. And you could, if you wanted to, you could set a date, but they've already made this decision, or you could compare this date. I want to show you, for example, formatting. I'm going to click on cell F11. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to F19, okay? Then I'm going to come over here up into the toolbar and you'll see the number format. Now this shows us it's in a date format, but I'm going to change these to numbers. You say, why would you do that? Well, if I wanted to, I could compute the duration of when they were called, say, versus some target date. and make a decision on the basis of that. In fact, in one of our later cases, we're going to, when we work with some accounts receivables data, we're going to take a date and then compare it to how old the debt is and make a decision on how to categorize it. Okay, so we'll do that. Let me do me a favor, please. Again, when as you come in, a couple of things to remember. It's okay for you to go ahead, please, and just if you would turn off your video, okay, and then stop your and mute your sound, okay. So, and if you'll do that, I'd appreciate it all. So I'll mute everybody. Good. And those of you who've come in a little bit late, don't worry about it. You can always go back and scroll it start at the beginning, and you haven't missed that much. So in assignment number 1, basically, we've just we've done a little bit of formatting. Now we want to find out why there's not an email here. There's not an email here. All right. And at this point, we've done some formatting, and we've taken the reader's eye down to the prospect tracking log, then down to the variables, then down to the data themselves, and then we have decision data that, yes, we need to call these people, okay, who were contacted on these dates. We need follow-up for them. And that's Excel case number 1. Now again, if you look at the bottom of page 26 and the top of page 27, okay, you'll see they have several of these tasks. And so what I've done is I've worked through them, all right? And a lot of times in these early cases, they involve working with just simply doing some formatting, entering some data, navigating through a spreadsheet, that type of stuff, which you did in 1103. Now, the only one thing left that I think I would do, just to make this even better, is I would come over here to row 10, okay, and I would use a border there, a thick box border, which says, okay, here's the prospect tracking log, here are the key variables or data or categories, here's the data, all right, and then here's another ribbon at the bottom of this data table. Now I'm going to come in here and do something. I'll put all borders. That makes it so much easier to read. And I'm going to come back here to row 10, and I'm going to put a thick box border again, so I have that. Okay. Now the follow-up data, those are centered. I'm going to take these dates called, and I think I'm going to center those as well. The reason being, it's important information. Now everything else is consistent because it's formatted, to the left. But data where I'm decisional data, I like to put them right in the middle if I possibly can, so they really do catch your eye. And then of course, using conditional formatting, we've done that. Okay. So now all you have to do, all right, is to go ahead and you can save that file. You should have it on, save it to your desktop, okay? And then you'll want to go ahead and upload it back where it says upload the file for XLS1. Now let's go back over here for a moment, and we'll go to the syllabus section. So we worked on whistle cleaners today, all right? And we're going to take a look at upload XLS1 here, okay? And you'll upload your work there, okay? And you submit a file upload. Now I'm going to, just to show you, I'm going to put this settings into, let's see, I'll do this first of all. I'm going to save this as whistle cleaners down on my desktop. I'm going to call it whistle cleaners A, then underscore Harmon. I'll put it on the desktop. All right. I'm going to close it off. And then I'm going to the settings, okay? And I'm going to put this into student view so I can upload the work. Okay? So I'm going to go over here to the syllabus. Now I'm in the student view. I see the same thing you do. And I have the XLS1 that's due here. Okay? All right? And I'm going to upload the file. All right? And that's all, that's really all there is for me to do. It's just, I just need to submit the file upload. Okay, now it's due by 5 p.m. On February the 8th. All right, and I want to try. Let's see. I want to try to pop this into that upload. Okay, that's strange. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I've got this. Yes, here we are. Okay, good. I'm so sorry. My little toolbar here was blocking submit assignment. I'm going to click submit assignment. Okay, I'm going to go find the choose. Now notice it says I can add another file. So if I have multiple files to upload, I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose a file. Here, my desktop. Okay, and I'm going to find whistle cleaners. They're around here somewhere. There they are. And I'm going to click open. Okay. Now, if I want to add another file, I can do so. All right. And I can add as many files as I want. Okay. And then I'm going to click submit assignment. All right. And my assignment is there. That's all there is to it. Now, if something should happen, I do have the capability to go back in there, all right, and give it an extension or get rid of a file, clean it out, whatever. But just make sure that when you're ready, okay, to turn it in, you are. Now, this is turned in, and it's not due till the 31st of it's not due till February the 8th. So if I say, okay, I messed it up, I'm going to resubmit the assignment. I can go back in, okay, and I can choose, okay, and I can click here to find a file after I've already uploaded, okay, and I can go back and upload a new file or an additional file. That's really all there is to it. Now I'm going to leave the student view, so you've seen how to do that. So whistle cleaners, okay, and that's the one you want to see. Okay. Okay. And see if it's going to let me. I'm going to go back over here to let me leave the student view or reset. It's going to let me leave it. See what it does. Oh, here we go. Leave. Okay. And it may take me even out of the Moodle room. I'm not sure. All right. Now I should be able to go back into everything, and we'll go back to the files. Now this time, XLS case number 2, okay, and that's case number 2, and it starts over on page 35. It's Athena Beauty Products, okay, and that's over on page 35. So again, to really get this, you need to have your book with you when I go through these. Now, we're going to find Athena Beauty products, but instead of starting with the finished product, I want to show you for a moment here, okay, the raw, or what I call the skeleton files, okay? So let's find Solvit student files. Here they are. And these are the skeleton files. And here's Athena Beauty, and I'm just going to open it up. And as you can see, it doesn't have everything in here. This is, if you look at the bottom, page 15, typically what they'll do is and on 35, they'll tell you the problem and the kinds of skills you're doing in Excel skills and all that business. And then at the bottom, page 35, they start to give you some tasks to perform. Athena Beauty Products they're trying to evaluate the effectiveness of their e-commerce website. And they give you some information, and they want to know about the visitors. They have sets of people they've identified. Okay, visitors, shoppers, attempted buyers, okay, and then buyers, and then source. So we're going to have to, we'd have to add some other columns in here, okay, and input some more data, all right? And then once you've done so, you've added the columns that they want you to put in, and then you go ahead and compute those data. Away you go. And they give you those tasks. So we're going to do one of them for just a second, just to show you. Visitors, number of people who visit. All right, we got that. Shoppers, okay. Attempted buyers, number of people, okay. I'm at the bottom, page 35. Now, and we've got buyers are the people who were referred by us, who actually placed an order, and then we have source. So we're missing. So we have the source. So we have visitors, we have shoppers, we have attempted buyers. Okay, this is a marketing case. And we have buyers, and then we have the source. Where did they come from? So we have all the data in here. Now you'll notice it's a skeleton file because I kind of got it started. But let's go through the parts. We've got the title, so we've got the title part. Then we have the documentation. That's the second piece, okay? And now we're into the calculation area. Now you'll notice we've got Athena Beauty Products, and then we have this nice table. So what I want to do is I'm going to come here to row 8, all right? And I'm just going to get rid of it. So it's clear that this is a table about Athena Beauty Products. Then I'm going to come down here to I'm going to come to row 8, and I'm going to click copy. Okay, and then I'm going to click Format Painter, and then come down to 22, row 22, and boom. And it's giving me the same format. You see how I created this? As we take the person, the end user's eye, all the way down to the data level. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this into all borders. Boom. Now, as we look over on page 36, we're going to see 5 tasks. This is in the Athena Beauty. And they say create new columns for the percentage of visitors who became shoppers. Okay, so how many of these, what percentage of visitors became shoppers? Okay, the percentage of shoppers who became attempted buyers. So here's the shoppers and then attempted buyers. So we're going to need to insert, we've got 2 columns now that we need to insert. And the percentage of attempted buyers who became buyers. So there will be a third, a column showing those percentages. And then a column that shows the percentage of visitors from each advertising source. So we've got 4 columns where we're computing percentages. We want to know what percentage of shoppers became visitors. Okay, what percentage of shoppers became, pardon me, what percentage of visitors became shoppers, I'm sorry. What percentage of shoppers became attempted buyers? What percentage of attempted buyers became buyers? And then we'll want to know out of all of these different sources, what percentage is contributed by this website, by this one, by this one. Because you can see, we've got to add some columns. We'll have to run some totals, do some percentage calculations. Okay? Not that big of a deal. So they walk us through there at the bottom of page 35. They talk about formatting the data, okay, creating the formulas, etc., and creating formulas to calculate the percentage of visitors, and then format the spreadsheet so the percentages are displayed with a percent sign. Anytime here in the textbook they talk about printing this stuff, don't worry about that. I don't expect you to print it out. I want you just to the finished product. I want you to upload it. Well, let's start with this first of all, and we're just going to do a little bit of work with it. And so I'm going to insert, okay, a row. You say, okay, what's that? And I'm going to put total. All right, and I'm going to simply get the total of all of the visitors. Okay, and so I'm going to do that, and I will get, because I want to know how many visitors period came, and so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use the auto sum. I'm going to go start up here, and I'll click auto sum, and there it is. And we'll check that by looking up here in the formula bar. There it is. Okay. And because I'm going to insert some columns in here, all right, I'm going to want to go ahead and just, I can carry this on across, but I might mess myself up when I insert the columns. But I can just go ahead and carry this on across, and it will give me the totals for each. Okay. Now, I could either insert the percentages or I could add them on. It doesn't matter. But I think what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to go ahead and put in percent of visitors. Let's see. I'm going to put the visitors to shoppers percent. All right. Now, I want to go ahead and wrap that text, and I'll move it out a little bit to make it look a little bit nicer. And then I'll click here on buyers. I'll click copy, format painter, and boom. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and wrap the text again and make it look pretty. So this is the visitors to shoppers percentage. All right. So I'm going to start here, and this will be equal shoppers. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a $sign in front of this C, so that it says I'm going to stay in column C, and it's going to be divided by, okay, B9. So I'm dividing the number of shoppers by the number of visitors, and that will give me the visitors to shopper percentage. Now notice I put a $sign in front of the C and a $sign in front of the B, and that means I'm saying I'm staying in these columns, but I'm going to come down the rows. And I'll click it. Now, I want to put this in percentage style, so I'll do that. If I want to add some decimals, increase them, I can do that. I think I'll put this out to 2. And then I'm just going to drag and drop all the way down here. Okay? And if I want to make sure it's looking good, when I click on this and then click in the form, notice how I get the color around the cells that are involved. So now I have the visitors to shopper percent. In other words, the number of visitors who became shoppers. And I got that by dividing shoppers by visitors. Now, the next thing they want us to know is the percentage of shoppers who became attempted buyers. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put shoppers to attempted buyers. Okay. And then I'll wrap the text there. I'll click this here, and I'll click copy, format painter, and boom. And then I'll just smudge this up a bit to make it look nice. And in this case, I want shoppers who became attempted buyers. So this is going to equal D9. Okay. I'll make that a dollar sign, not a percentage. That's going to be D9 divided by C9. Okay, now let's look at this for a minute. And these are the number of shoppers who became attempted buyers. So we divided attempted buyers by the number of shoppers. All right, and we'll just drag and drop this on through. Then we'll go ahead and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy format painter, and I'm going to do all of these data like that so they look really pretty. Now, what I also want to do here with these percentages is they can start to look pretty busy. In fact, all of this can. So what I'm going to do with the data over here, all right, I'm going to move them over to the left. Okay, I'm going to take these data that are going to help me do some decisional things, and I'm going to center them. Okay. Now, and then I've got the shoppers to attempted buyers. Okay, and the percentage attempted buyers who became buyers. So I want attempted buyers to buyers percent. I don't even need the word percent in there. Attempted buyers to buyers. Open that out. Shoppers, I'm going to go ahead and add that percent in there just to make sure it's clear. It crowds it up a bit, but now I'll put attempted buyers to buyers percent. And it's going to be the same story at this point. These are the attempted buyers who became buyers. So, and this is going to equal E9 divided by D9. And you start to see the algorithm as we've seen how these columns, I put a dollar sign in front of that, boom. Okay. And then I'll just simply take this and I'll drag and drop all the way down. And then I'm going to copy here. I'm going to do copy, okay, format painter. Okay. And now we're ready to do a little bit of work. We've gotten the visitors who were converted to shoppers, okay? The shoppers to attempted buyers to buyers, and then we want source percent of total. Visitors. Not any big deal. And we'll just go ahead and the source percent of total visitors. So this is going to be a little bit different. Okay. So we're going to click this. We'll start with Fashionista. In fact, just to make this more helpful for us, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put the source over here. Copy that. Now we come right over here. Now this is a little bit unusual, but I don't want to be looking across so much. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'll add the bar here at the top. I'll put copy, format painter, boom. Okay, and I'm just going to do this now. Just go ahead and get this trimmed off. I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to click copy, format painter, and then I'll just format all of these columns. Okay, now, and I want Yahoo. I missed Yahoo. I thought something didn't look right. Okay, and then click on here, copy, format painter. Okay, so now we're ready to do the source. Okay, I'm going to relabel this. I'm going to call this percent of total visitors per source. There we go. That's much better. Makes lots more sense. All right, and so we're going to start here, and we will put, this will be equal, and we're looking at fashionista, and we'll take fashionista equals B9, okay, and that's going to be divided by the total visitors down here. Now I'm going to make B22 a full absolute reference. I'll highlight B22, then I'll press F4. Because I'm making B2, I'm using a full absolute reference. The relative reference is over here with each one of these, and we'll just scroll on down and see what we get. Okay, B9 divided by B22, then we should see B10 divided by B22, B11, 12, etc. And then we'll come over here, and I'll click copy, format painter. Okay, and I forgot to scroll this on down, so there we are. Okay, so we've done what they want us to do. Now, this is, we've got the source here, so I want to just go ahead and put source. Now, look, this is what we've done here is we've followed what we would call a value chain or a marketing chain, where we start with people who visited. Then, how many of them actually shopped? And we'd have some definition for them. Again, we're evaluating this website, how well it's doing. Then some percentage of those people attempted to buy something. Now that might mean they put stuff into a cart, okay, or maybe they put stuff on a wish list. But we would have some definitions for those. Okay, we'd have definitions for them. And then we have buyers, and we want to know what percentage of people who were attempted buyers actually became buyers. We know, marketing people tell us, that people go through a series of decisions before they make a purchase. So we see, and if you buy stuff online, you go to a place, you look around, you might put some stuff in a cart, and you leave it, you come back. That's what they're trying to get at. And then also to figure out, where are these people coming from? Which of these websites, send the most people to us? Okay? And so we've got some pretty good data we can work with, because now we're in a position to say, okay, which of these websites, okay, really are providing us some help, and which ones are not. Okay, so we've got this nicely done here, and I went ahead and left these figures, these percentages in the middle. I'm going to take these sources, okay, and I'm going to make them bold, because these are sources of my of my data. Now now you say, Dr. Harmon, why couldn't I come ahead? Why couldn't I go ahead and get the percentage of shoppers per source, the percentage of attempted buyers per source, the attempted of buyers, the percentage of buyers per source? Well, I could, if I want to just go ahead and add the additional columns. And if I think it will give me some additional information, I can do so. Okay, I just chose to stop us at this point because it gives us, okay, a good set of data. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cursor and I'm going to start here at A8, okay, and I'm going to come all the way over to the I'm going to get the array of A8 to I21, okay, and I can, if I want to, go ahead and I can do a sort or a filter with these data. All right. Now, what I can do if I want is to start with the visitors to shopper percentage, and I can use a conditional format to create a thermal. And we'll call those color scales. Green meaning really good. Okay. I could put a data bar like a gradient fill. Okay. I could put the color shades and use a different. I could do icon sets, directional. Yeah, it just depends on what's going to work for me. Now, I like the thermal because it really catches your eye very, very quickly about what's the lowest one, what's the highest one, and what are those kind of in the middle. Okay. Now, I can also sort these data and put them into, sort them and sort them on the basis of these different categories. So I'm going to take a stab at this. I'm going to take A8 to I21, pardon me, A8 to I21. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to click sort and filter. I'm going to click custom sort. All right, now make sure at the top of this dialog box, see my cursor, my data has headers. And I'm going to sort by, okay, I'm going to sort by, what's the one I'm most in, percentage of total, okay, visitors to shopper percentage. And there we go. And I want to go from largest to smallest. Okay. Now, this is a little bit of a problem over here because if we do that sorting, we could mislead somebody. So I'm going to get rid of this. I kind of used it as a placeholder, and it does start to limit what I can do. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that column. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and put a border on. I'm going to click here and put copy, format painter, and I'm just going to come here and put a border here. Because I want to be able to look at these. So now I have them based on the values visitors to shopper percentage. Okay. I could put these in turn. I could go back in here. I'll click on sort and filter. I'll click on custom sort. Let's see. I'm gonna get the range here. Okay. I'm gonna click custom sort. And I'm going to change that, and I can do it on a different basis. I could do shoppers to attempted buyers percentage, largest to smallest. There you go. I don't care if you do any of that. okay? And when we get in later down in the course, we have a case called Pacific Trading, where we're going to look at how to use the most powerful tool, other than Solver, Microsoft Excel Solver. The most powerful tool in Microsoft is Excel. Pardon me, is pivot table, and we'll do some work with a pivot table. But for now, we've done Athena Beauty. So again, all right, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to click Save As. Now I'm going to call it a copy of Athena Beauty Q _ Harmon. All right, I'm going to save it on my desktop. You see, you always emphasize saving this on the desktop. Why do you do that? Let me explain. First of all, when you download files from Canvas, you've got to take them out of the limbo of I'm opened up on Canvas and put them into a native environment. That is, download them to your device. Otherwise, when you try to save them, they won't save. So always download the thing to your desktop. Also, it's easier to find it there. Okay, so I've downloaded this. Okay, I'm going to close this off, and I'm going to go down to my desktop and see if I've got it down there. There's a copy of Athena. There's Cardinal Buddy. They're out in the mountains. Okay, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go back up to Settings. All right, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to Student View. All right, and I'll go to the syllabus, and I'm going to look at upload XLSX2 here. Let's do February the 8th. You can resubmit work up to the point where an assignment is due. Okay, so hopefully we'll get this to open up for me. Here we go. And now, when you hit the deadline for the assignment, you can't do any more uploads. Okay? And so I'm going to choose a file, and we go to my desktop, and let's see, I'm going to find a copy of Athena Beauty Q. Upload it. All right, and I'm going to submit my assignment. So, see, now this is due February the 8th at 5 p.m. So if I decide, hey, I want to submit something else, or you said, well, I can look at this screencast and I'm just going to upload the 2 files that are there already, I'm okay with that. We don't have a problem. Okay? I'm going to go out of this, leave the student view. Okay? And I want to go back over here to the files area, and there are 2 files that you need to upload, and that's whistle cleaners. Okay, and that whistle cleaners is case number 1, and you could say, well, all right, I'll upload it, rather than working through it like you did. That's fine. And the other is going to be, of course, is going to be Athena Beauty Products. Now let's look at this for a minute, because I do want to download it. Okay. And I want to show you. Here is kind of what I would say is just basically, you say this looks a lot like the skeleton file. Yeah. Okay. And you can do some work with it, put some headers on it, clean it up a little bit in terms of how the data are presented. Some of the stuff I did today is fine. Now, here's what I'm going to do just to to be really, really nice. Let me scroll this down, scrunch this down for a minute. I'm going to take this Whistle Cleaners and this copy of Athena, okay, and I'm going to put them in a file. Pardon me, I'm going to put them in a folder, okay, and I'm going to rename that folder Spring 18 1 and 2. All right. Now I'm going to send that to a compressed folder. It's a zip file. Follow me? And I'm going to go up here, and I can do this because I've got the editing privileges, so I'll get rid of that. And I'm going to upload the files, okay? And this spring, there it is, 1123, 1 and 2. And I'm going to upload it. And now I'll do the same thing with the group on Thursday. Hopefully it will upload. It's going to take its good time doing that while we're waiting. I've been running into some of these problems with some of these zip files. Okay. I'm going to try this again. I've been having some problems with this. Of it uploading. And that just takes, sometimes it's taking some time. But, you know, if and I don't want to waste too much more time messing with this, but if you want, ask some options, and if I can get it to upload, I will. Fine. If not, I won't. I may just not be able to. Let's see here. I think I have some other ones. And again, notice I've got a little bit of some variations to these. All right. And let's see if I can find an XLS 1 and 2 in here. All right. I got some strangeness going on down there. I really don't know what that's all about. That's weird. Okay, let me come down here to XLS. You could also, if you wanted to, you're gonna see XLS case. There's 10. There should be a 1 in here. 5, 4. Okay, well, there's Whistle Cleaners, and we've got we've got Whistle, and then we also have the Athena Beauty products, and you can try them. Okay. And I will try to upload. I have no earthly idea what all those weird things are. And I will upload the those 2 files. Now let me find something else here for just a second. I'm going to go over to the modules area. Okay. And I may have an XLS 1 and 2 in here. There you go. There's an XLS 1 solution file. You could upload it for XLS 1. There's an XLS 2 solution file. Feel free to use those. I'll try to upload these 2 that I have, but I'm not having much success. It may be traffic. I'm not sure. Here's a solution file, and you'll need to download it and then uploaded over there. It's basically the same thing we've got over there. I just did some embellishments, okay? Not that big of a deal, okay? So you've seen pretty much. Now, if you care to, it's always your privilege to come back in and take a look at the recording and follow along with it and follow the steps and try and do it, okay? We just did some basic formatting. We did a little bit of cell referencing. We did some very simple computation, not that big of a deal. And let me try one more time to see if I can get the files to upload here. And I don't know why I'm running into that one. It's compressed. I don't think it's too big. There we go. I'm having some strange stuff with Canvas in terms of uploading stuff. So let's see if I can find that. And that was let's see what this is here. This is SP. Okay, it's going to be down the SPBISS. There it is. So you can download this zip file and then open it up, and then upload for 1 and 2. Okay. So we've done XLS 1 and 2 next week, and we've done 3. So next week you should, and now on our next on our next class next Monday, we'll start to work on case number 4. Okay, but don't forget you've got that financial ratios quiz. All right, that's based on case number 4, Excel case number 4, and I also have some materials in there about financial ratios, how they're computed, and that type of thing. Okay, well, folks, listen, it's 3:02, and I started about 10 minutes early. For those of you who came in later, you're good, because I've been recording this, and you can go back and see that, it's like watching a video. You can pause it, you can stop, you can look, so you didn't miss anything, okay? Well, it's Wednesday, and then everybody, I will see you next week, next Monday, there over in Shawnee, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it, and have a great weekend.